Sophie Cunningham is sticking with the Fever. The team just announcing they re-signed her. ESPN reporting she agreed to a one-year deal to return. This will be the guard's second year with the Fever since being traded from the Mercury. Now, she only appeared in 30 games last season because of an injury, but she still finished fourth on the team in scoring.
Sophie Cunningham's recent decision has completely stunned WNBA fans. The shooter has some personal issues before to this summer. Goals, financial security, stability, and the ability to finally settle down. Everything was altered when Khelne, the Indiana Fever, and Clark showed up. Important conversations regarding the sacrifices athletes are prepared to make in order to win titles are being ignited by what Cunningham sacrificed in order to run it back with the Fever. Please let me know by writing comment. Now, did Sophie Cunningham make the right choice by playing with Caitlin Clark at the risk of her long-term safety? Or should she have prioritized making money and relocating? Cunningham has inked a fresh deal with the Indiana Fever, and at first appearance, that seems like a straightforward move, the team that had the best season. A fan favorite returns to the franchise. Lexi Hull, Cunningham, and Caitlin Clark have reunited as the trio of Trace Leches.
The Fever at 3 p.m. Eastern and ABC Monday to Thursday back in Oklahoma City.
I assume that everything is fantastic, unless you look closely at the details of Cunningham's contract and her declared objectives for the upcoming offseason. This decision is far more challenging than it appears. Now, let's return to what Cunningham said over the offseason on her podcast. She was very clear about what she expected from her next deal. She wanted her finances to be stable. She wanted a long-term contract that would allow her to find a place to live, and experience some stability in her life outside off or a professional athlete who has been competing for 30 years. For years, those goals have been quite reasonable in the WNBA. In 2019, Cunningham joined the league. Before relocating to Indiana, she played for Phoenix for a spell. She is shown to be a valuable 3 and D wing with physical skills. Make shots and play defense. Her kind of role player is needed by rival clubs, even though she isn't a superstar. After years of proving herself, she also wanted to cash in with a multi-year contract that would provide her some financial security. Her worth, she said she wanted that. What took place? Did Cunningham's desires suddenly change? Did she receive greater offers from other teams? Or did she deliberately choose to give up her own objectives to pursue a title alongside Caitlin Clark and the Fever? From what we know, it appears that the latter, and admirers are astonished by that. She agreed to a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever, a year, absence of long-term security, no large salary, and no capacity to establish a life and settle permanently.
Sophie back with Indiana on a one-year deal. That part of it is sort of interesting just because she had said on her podcast previously, I forget the exact wording, but basically the idea was that she wanted to be able to like settle down somewhere and feel cozy and wanted a big contract in that sense. So, a big contract I'm sure applies monetarily, but also maybe, annually as far as the years that are on it. But this is not that. So perhaps Sophie sacrificing that sort of security in order to run it back with the Fever. Of course, it was great for her career to play with the Indiana Fever, to play alongside Caitlin.
WNBA analyst Robin Lundberg provided a clear explanation of the scenario. According to him, Cunningham had made his desire to settle down and land a big contract was evident. After that, she had second thoughts and accepted a one-year contract. With Indiana, he believes that in order to run it back with a Fever, Cunningham is sacrificing that kind of security. And that's exactly how this looks. Cunningham is betting on herself as well as the Fever. She's wagering that investing. It will be more beneficial to spend an extra year in Indiana with Caitlin Clark during what may be a championship caliber season, over time than taking a multi-year contract from someone else. Maybe she believes she will be able to, should the Fever have a great season and she plays a major role, to demand a better deal the next year. Portion, maybe she just values the opportunity to be successful and a part of something special over short financial stability in the long run. Either way, it's an unavoidable sacrifice. Cunningham clarified that She valued immediate opportunity over long-term security. It's just not a criticism, a reality. That it also raises some interesting questions about the sacrifices made by professionals. To succeed as a team, players are willing to make sacrifices. Let's talk on what Cunningham actually gives up by consenting to. A one-year agreement. Most importantly, she is jeopardizing her financial security. Under a one-year agreement, there is uncertainty because she will become a free agent again the following year. What occurs if she sustains an injuries this year? What happens if the course of the fever changes? What occurs if groups have fewer money to spend as a result of the salary cap scenario changing, delaying the signing of a long-term contract? Cunningham is one of those real dangers. She is also forfeiting the chance to settle down in the manner that she expressed. A wish to. You can't purchase a home and start a business if you don't know where you'll be performing next year. Roots. You can't build long-term relationships when your job situation is uncertain for more than a year. Plans. Cunningham is essentially sacrificing her personal life in order to pursue success with a fever. One more year. The irony begins at this point. Let's be truthful about this circumstance, because Caitlin Clark is so seductive. Sophie Cunningham is abandoning her own goals to Cunningham's opportunity to play alongside Clark. Stability is not as valuable as being a part of the WNBA's most-watched team and potentially competing for a championship, as well as financial stability. Be honest. That encapsulates Caitlin Clark's impact on the league. Cunningham has experience with. Large eyes, who is just happy to be in the presence of a famous person. She is aware of her worth and has years of expertise in the league. She is still willing to take less money and security in order to play with Clark. That is an illustration of the Caitlin Clark effect. Players want to be in her orbit. They want to be a part of what she is making. And they are willing to make sacrifices to make it happen. Cunningham, Clark, and Lexi Hull's acceptance of the name Tres Leches is more than simply a charming social media trend. Three players who clearly enjoy playing together. Others are demonstrated to possess genuine chemistry and a bond. Hull has inked a new contract with the Fever as well, and it was clear that she intended to run it back with this crew. These athletes believe in the development of Fever. They're also willing to bet on themselves and each other. However, let's not pretend that friendship and the only things at risk are vibes. Cunningham is taking a calculated chance here to be why playing. She is betting that she will grow in popularity, visibility, and value with Caitlin Clark. The next year, she will once again be a free agent. And you know what? She's probably right. The Indiana Fever are the most watched team in the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. Every game is broadcast nationwide on television. Every highlight is shared on social media. Fans who were previously uninterested in the WNBA are now interested in seeing Clark play. Paying attention as a result, players like Cunningham and Hull are getting significantly more attention than they would if they were on a different league team. There is value in that exposure that it transforms into recognition of names, followers on social media, and chances for sponsorship. On and off the court, a player's earning potential can